Alright, good morning. What's going on, guys? Just made it to Bradley Beach, heading in the direction of Asbury Park. So, I was on my way to Asbury, and the thing is, in Asbury, there are a lot of areas that you have to pay for parking, and I was like, oh, I know Bradley, and you don't have to pay for parking in Bradley, so maybe I can find a spot close by to the boardwalk and just park in Bradley, walk over the boardwalk, and go to Asbury. And that's just what I'm doing. So found a good spot. Pro tip, as long as you don't mind the walk, it's just me today. I don't have a whole lot of stuff that I'm carrying around with me, and it is also a really nice walk. I'm only about 1 block away from the boardwalk. Pick up the boardwalk, get into Asbury, and take you guys along with me. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it, and gonna have a good one today. Good morning. Okay, so we just made it to the Bradley boardwalk. It's about 8:30 Monday, Labor Day. So anyone who's tuning in, probably not Labor Day anymore, but for all y'all out there, happy Labor Day. All right, so they found this like gazebo. It's a little like, this is Fletcher Lake, and I've seen people like fishing out here and stuff. It looks like that's gated off. They don't want you going too far down there, but it's a place to hang out, read a book, take a break. They got a bunch of these like little gazebos here. It's a little walk through, little path, but we are still headed in the direction of Asbury, so we're just gonna keep it moving, and I think we're gonna officially hit the boardwalk here. All right, we are officially in Ocean Grove, I believe. I think once we get onto this boardwalk, we get into Ocean Grove. So, sorry if it's windy, because I am outside, I am by the beach, and it gets windy at the beach, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. But I can see Asbury from where I'm at. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right ahead of me is a carousel. Can see the top of the carousel, can see, I think that's a little bit of Convention Hall off in the distance, so we're gonna keep it moving. People are starting to get here to the beach. You see people starting to plot their land, plot their flag, their umbrellas. So it's definitely a beach day. A little bit windy, but and it's a little bit cool this morning. It feels like 70. But once the sun gets a little bit higher in the sky, it's gonna warm up a lot too. So beautiful day to walk the boards, beautiful day for a beach day, and really excited to take you guys along for this one. All right, so we're in Ocean Grove right now, and I'm starting to realize I probably could have even parked a little bit closer instead of Bradley. Ocean Grove, the reason why I chose Bradley, I'm a little bit more familiar with Bradley, so I was like, oh, let me just drive around, see if I can find a spot. But if I had gone a little bit farther, I would have gotten into Ocean Grove, and might have been able to get just a little bit closer to Asbury. In my mind, I thought Bradley was like directly adjacent to Asbury Park, but it ends up it's actually directly adjacent to Ocean Grove, which is directly adjacent to Asbury Park. So we live, we learn. Still a beautiful walk. So I've only been walking for 10 minutes and we're already in Asbury Park, so would have cut the walking commute in half by 5 minutes. But we are like fast approaching Asbury Park. A lot of people on the boardwalk, people running, getting their exercise. Met a friend named Boris from Russia. He's been living here for 16 years and retired. He had to have been like 70 or 80, and he's like, I walk 3 miles back and forth every day. And I was like, that's great, man. You are living the life. But it's important, especially as we get older, like you got to stay active. You got to like keep moving, because if at the moment that you start becoming sedentary, like your body is just going to adjust to that lack of movement, and then you start to deteriorate. But if you stay active, if you keep yourself moving, you know, walking, cardio, bike riding, whatever it is that you do. But also, you know, try to hit the weights too, because when you get older, as you age, like your muscle and your strength really starts to decrease as well. So you want to keep that muscle and strength up as well, and you know, it just adds to the quality of life longer term. Anyway, I'm going to end the rant there, and we're going to keep it going. All right, so this is what I would say officially cross over into the Asbury Park Boardwalk. You can tell it went from being a really nice, like, newer boardwalk to a really, you know, don't walk barefoot because you get a splinter. But yeah, so this is Asbury Park Boardwalk. We got the beach. We got this is the carousel, and this structure, you really can't go in, I don't think. It's kind of like historic. I couldn't tell you exactly what the history is, but it actually, I mean, architecturally wise, like, it's actually a really cool structure when you look at it. Pretty big. There's some paintings and wall art and just stuff on it that you can look at, and it would be so cool to have like seen this thing when it was like really in its prime, really in its tip-top shape. Wesley Lake, right here by the carousel. We'll just keep it moving. Looks like we had a busy boardwalk day. They'll come around and clean that up, hopefully. But it looks like, usually you used to be able to like walk through here, but it looks like they closed it off. They might be getting ready for something, or maybe doing some refurbishments. I like your shirt, that's nice. You're welcome. Some art. I don't know what's going on up there, but let's see if we can take a peek and find out. This is my friend Boris. Here, let's see what's going on over there. I don't know if we can see anything, but secret security camera. No secrets from us. The other side. That's all painted by Pork Chop at Porktomic. Shout out. All right, so now we're on the other side of the carousel, and we got the backside of the Empress Hotel. Shops, food, beach. Gorgeous day. We got roof seating. A lot of food, a lot of snacks. This is like in a little convenience store. Get some sunscreen if you forgot it at home. All right, we're gonna keep it going. We got a little grassy area. Got some soccer playing going on. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll get a little bit closer there. But you get the Stone Pony Summer Stage in that direction. It's literally right in front of me. We're walking right past it. People getting their beach days started. People on the beach, feeding the seagulls, getting their tent set up. Had to check that out. It's a giant cassette player. Doesn't play any music. Sorry about the loud noise. Doesn't look like the water park is open today, but maybe it opens up a little bit later, or maybe they close it. I think that it would be open, you know, even on at least Labor Day, but maybe it'll open later this afternoon once it warms up a little bit. I mean, this building, I'd love to get in there and check it out and see what some of the apartments look like. Brand new apartment complex, beautiful location, and I hear that some of those apartments go for, you know, you're definitely paying for the premium beachfront property. We'll just leave it at that. And of course, right across the street from mini golf. What could be better? All right, right, so we're getting a little bit closer to our second location. But before we get there, I do just want to give a shout out to Robinson Ale House. It's a great bar, restaurant, really good place for date night. They got the rooftop, and if you come like around evening time, you get a good view of like the sunsets. But here we have Convention Hall for all of your convention needs. So Convention Hall, sometimes they have like little pop-up shops in the middle here, but you got Wanderlust for hoodies and beachwear and sunglasses. There are some shops here, some of them aren't open yet. Some stuff for breakfast, lunch, food. You're hungry? This is the actual entrance into Convention Hall. So there's like this is just kind of like the promenade to get in, and then inside here they have a whole nother large kind of hall that, you know, they have stuff going on in. Can't get in today. Anyone who likes beer, Asbury Park Beer Fest is a lot of fun, and they usually host it here. Convention Hall from the beach. I just found little beach access on the side here, so get a little bit of a picture of the Convention Hall from the outside, from the beach. And it's a really cool building, I'm not gonna lie. Like architecturally, like there's seashells, you see like the ships on the top. The color of the windows are like this beautiful kind of like off green. Not just straight lines, but curves and different kind of like architectural details that make it a really special building. It kind of has like a little bit of like a rundown feel to it, but I think that's what they're going for, you know? It's another place that I think would have been so cool to see it like in its heyday, when it was really like new, and that would have been pretty cool. But let's keep it moving. No doubt inspired by some Greek mythology. Sea nymph, Medusa. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is either. But definitely Medusa. That's not Medusa, but cool. Let's keep it going. Here it is from the other side too, and it's just like, this caught my eye. Like there's some really cool attention to detail here. They got the eagle here, sign of freedom, sign of transformation. There's like little symbols, if you know how to look for them, that are designed right into the architecture here. You got the scrolls, you got the shield, you got the honestly, man, like some of these look like they could be like it's just really cool. There's like really cool stuff that are, if you're looking for it, it's cool. There's a viola up there. There's what looks like maybe a mirror with a face in it up there. Faces, architecture. They definitely went for like a more classic kind of feel. You know, I get real like almost like Roman or Greek architecture here. I mean, the building's actually really cool if you just like take some time to actually like look at it. There's a ship up there in between those two lanterns. Like, the building itself is telling a story, which is really special. It's really cool. So yeah, anyway, let's keep it going. We got somewhere else to go. We got the Wonder Bar, not open yet. That's Robinson Ale House from the other side. Wonder Bar. Let's keep it going. We got Asbury Lanes I'll tell you, like, even like in some of these cities, like, the wall art is like so cool, and it's peppered around. Go bowling, but they also have concerts here too, which are a lot of fun. Good morning. Good morning. Asbury Lanes, not open yet. I don't know how well you can see, but like even on this house, like it's painted, it's fun. It's not just a house. They got almost looks like lines and circles and squares. What do they call that? Like a mandala, something like that. It's pretty cool. Circles within circles. All right, so this is pretty cool. Some of you might know of the author Stephen Crane, author of The Red Badge of Courage. Well, he grew up right here in Asbury Park. This was his childhood home, and the house itself has been turned into a just a historic monument. And they might do like tours and stuff like that where you could actually go inside and see what it's like inside. But for now, it looks like it's closed. But just wanted to show that and point that out to you because it's pretty cool. You know, you never would expect to see something like as historic as this right around the corner from your favorite watering holes. But might have to reread The Red Badge of Courage and see what it's all about. But this is the house, and definitely come check it out next time you're in Asbury. I will say that the architecture and some of the houses here in this area are really stunning. It got like a very classic Victorian feel. Everyone looks like very unique, you know, a different color, different kind of architecture. They definitely feel very homey, and it would be pretty cool to live in one of these houses, or at least get inside and see what it's like on the inside. But a lot of these are like family homes. They also could be rentals. They also could be homes that are like, you know, passed along generationally. So you really never know. But it's a cool neighborhood. I'm not gonna lie. Just like walking through and seeing what some of these houses look like. It's I'm enjoying it. So yeah. There's something about like these Gothic style like cathedral churches that I just think like the architecture is so cool. It's like you're looking at a castle. There's some pigeons up there hanging out. Not open today, but it's a cool church. A lot of symbolism in churches too. Again, like another church, and you know, you can kind of like you could see the detail that was put into just even like this threshold. Like there's if you just like kind of pay attention, like, yo, everything here was put with intention, right? The patterns, these are ropes, spiral, flowers, kind of looks like DNA. Animals, rodent, bird, flower, right? Like you got the swans or peacocks, you got the cardinals drinking out of the jug of wine or something like that. Anyway, this stuff gets me excited. I think architecture is pretty cool. It's like, especially in like these old Gothic kinds of buildings, there are little secret hidden messages that if you're paying attention, you can pick them up. And if you know what to look for, you can kind of get a feel for what kind of message the architect or the people who built the building were looking to convey. But they don't convey it with words, they convey it with symbols. So big old metaphor. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. So this thing kind of caught my attention, and it's actually a monument. We are in Library Square right now, and this is a monument to a gentleman by the name of Francis Asbury. He was a bishop, landed in America 1771, and is the reason why Asbury Park is named Asbury Park. And this is a little monument for that guy, our good friend Francis. And this is really cool. It's geometric, kind of hypnotic circle. Not sure why they went with this as a particular pattern to commemorate, but I just thought it was cool and I wanted to show you guys and check it out. But anyway, let's keep. So like, again, this is pretty cool. At first glance, it's just a red door, right? But if you look closely, like, beautiful red, gold, and the detail of this here, like, this isn't just, it almost looks like a sword, right? But is it a sword? Is it peeling? Is it a corn husk? I don't know. But it's just like the level of detail that goes into designing some of this stuff is like so cool. Here's it from the side. This is Trinity Church. Very popular, very well known church here in Asbury Park, right across the street from commemorative landmark Library Square. Beautiful park. Again, you got like Gothic castle vibes from the side. From the front here, main entrance. I mean, even the symbolism. This is something that I've picked up on too, where it's like, all right, even just in the threshold, right? When you're entering the church, you got pillar on the left, pillar on the right, and you enter through the middle. It's a metaphor, you know, like take the straight and narrow path. That's what I get out of it. But you know, just so like awesome, right? Trinity Church has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2014 by the United States Department of the Interior. And for good reason. It's important to know like where we came from and know the history behind some of these things that are important, and then it gives you an idea like, wow, how can something stick around for so much longer and leave the legacy that it leaves? That's really interesting to me. So we got a lot of construction going on. This all used to be just like a parking lot, and they've been doing a lot of development here in Asbury Park, I'm not gonna lie. But we do have I just like Pavinsky Garden is where we're at. Pavinsky Garden, and we got a monument in defense of the Union, 1861 to 1865. Really, really cool stuff. It's like, you know, cool history peppered around here. Like we drive by things like this all day long, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of like push myself to do this, because I just noticed, like, I'm out and about, I'm driving around, I come to a lot of different cities, different towns, just like for work and whatever, and there's a lot of really cool history just peppered in to a lot of these places that we visit, even that we live. And you know, it's one thing to drive past it and see it and be like, oh wow, look how nice, but you know, to kind of slow it down and kind of get on your feet and hit the streets and actually kind of immerse yourself in the culture of a town or a city, and you know, say hi to the people and see with your own eyes and breathe the air with your own lungs is a pretty cool experience. So we just made it to Cookman, and we're gonna check it out, see what kind of shops and stores are open, maybe grab a coffee or some breakfast or something like that. But even like, you know, right on the other side here, JFK Memorial. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, and how true that is, especially now. So anyway, let's keep it going. All right, so we are on Cookman Ave. People are coming out for breakfast. This hot sand place, you can do, you can make like hand-blown glass it's fun. It's an experience, and then you can choose, like, do you want a wine glass or a beer mug or a bowl. Fun things to do. Tallulah's has great pizza. They have this hot honey sopressata pizza, which is like my fave. But you get margarita or a plain. Specialty pies, you know? Fancy pies. House of Independence. Schedule here for September. Dueling pianos. That'll be fun. Asbury Ale House, where the kids go. See Here Now Festival is coming up soon. This is a very popular festival. I personally, I've not been, but I always see it pop up on social media and things like that. Friday, September 12th. It looks like that's who's gonna be there. Check it out. Could be fun. Another thing that I just like, I have fun doing this, especially because naturally to like go up and talk to new people, make new friends. It definitely puts me out of my comfort zone. I tend to overthink it when I do it. It's like, oh, you know, I don't want to bother that person, or, you know, whatever. So coming out here and just like, you know, saying hi to people and striking up random conversations, and some people are open to, you know, chatting a little bit, and some people aren't, and that's okay. But it's a really good exercise to strengthen your social skills, to strengthen your social muscle. I've noticed that sometimes it's hard to make that first open up the conversation, you know, just to say hi, but once you get it going, it gets easier. And I've had some incredible I've met some really interesting people from just putting myself out there like that and meeting new people. Hey, how's it going, guys? And you know, you just never know what kind of conversation you could uncover and what you might be able to learn from somebody. Learn some really interesting things just from having conversations, from, you know, saying hi to people and whatnot. So this is something that you see a lot of here too, where you're like just a planted garden. This is literally called Merchant's Garden Park revitalization project. So, you know, people come in here and, you know, they keep the garden up to date. You know, they make it a nice little habitat for animals, or, you know, you can come walk through here yourself. They got a, you know, a bench. You can sit down on the bench and hang out and just, you know, there's not a whole lot of like parks around here, but for people who like to be, you know, around trees and things like that, you know, you got the street right here that is, you hear the cars coming by, but even just being around, you know, some fresh green vegetation, it could be very calming, relaxing, and cleansing as well. So I think that's really cool that the community does things like this, that, you know, it brings a little bit of vibrancy to you know, a more city kind of landscape, which Asbury is. So, you know, it's kind of like you got a nice balance of like city, park, right? Building, concrete, green, living, plants. And, you know, those things are, it's important to have a little bit of both. And you can kind of stumble upon these little areas of nature, which is really neat. There's still areas too that are active construction. So we just passed the arcade and nothing's open here yet. It is also Labor Day, so, you know, I would think, you know, that some of these stores will be open because a lot of people are off of work, but some are and some are not. And you know what, that's good too. People want to like take the day and have fun with their families, like that's part of it, you know. And there's still people out and about walking around. Pretty cool footbridge that goes over the water here. And, you know, they have little, like, you know, it's not everywhere, but, you know, little explanation of what we're looking at. I mean, the watershed is an area of land where streams drain into a larger body of water, such as a river, lake, or ocean. Hydrologists have identified 20 watershed management areas in New Jersey, each separated from other watersheds by hills and slopes. Wesley Lake is part of a watershed management area number 12. Water drains from higher areas into the lake, which in turn empties into the Atlantic Ocean. So the water actually comes from this direction out into the Atlantic Ocean, which is where we started from earlier. And you know, it's a beautiful natural habitat. There are geese swimming along. You know, I don't think you can fish here. You might be able to fish around here and stuff like that, but you know, they built a nice little bridge that you can walk over and kind of get to wherever it is that you need to get to. And you know, we're not going to take the bridge today because there's somewhere else that I want to get to. But this is the Asbury Beer Garden, and this used to be awesome, like a lot of fun, great beer, great food. And they actually had a struggle, I think, I don't know what I think it might have been like during COVID or something happened, and they kind of had to shut down, and there was like an insurance thing that happened, and they just never were able to recover. And you know, they've been closed ever since, and I don't know if they'll ever reopen, but the building is still Asbury Beer Garden. You have Asbury Distilling right on the other side there too, right next to it. Trash time. This is Moonstruck. It's another really popular restaurant, really good place for date night. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but they do have some things on there on the menu that will fit all price ranges. But it's a beautiful ambiance. They did a really good job there, and the food is really good as well. Maybe we'll go to dinner one time and do an official review. It doesn't look like they're open today, but you could take these swans out, or a dragon, or a duck, and swim them all around the water here. A fun thing to do. Asbury Park pedal boats. So these are some of the apartment complexes that they have here. I don't know if these are apartments or condominiums. There are more that are being built right now, but there are many that are already being lived in. And I'll tell you, just like walking through here is like super nice. Like, it's a really nice, whether they're apartments or condos, definitely they did a good job here. You know, it's clean. I don't think they're all fully being lived in. Otherwise, I feel like it would be a lot more busy, but maybe they are. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna make a pit stop, take you somewhere that a friend of mine recommended, and it's only a little bit away. We actually kind of passed it already, but we're gonna do a little bit of backtracking, and then we are going to the OG Asbury Park Press building. Pretty cool. Looks like a big block, but they got like the copper in the middle. You see like the middle in the 3, and then on the left and right side, it just, you know, a cool design. Not gonna lie. Anyway, we're gonna keep going. This place that came very highly recommended that we're gonna check out. See if they're open. They might not be, because I noticed that a lot of stores, restaurants, like some are open and some are not. It is Labor Day, so the limited choice, limited selection here, but we're gonna check it out and see if we can get something, pick something up here for a minute. Check this out. They are open. Wow, how cool is that? All right, so I just want to give a shout out to my man Griffey at Griffey's Organics. They make all of these fresh pressed juices, good for immunity, good for focus, very holistic kind of option. And he was, let me do one of these. He was super friendly, gave me some good insight, good information, and gonna try his Aptogen cold brew. I asked him, you know, what he had for coffee, and he suggested this one. It's got the adaptogens, got the mushrooms, got the lion's mane. They have 4 locations. I think he said here in Asbury, there's a main location which does all of the juicing and packaging, and they're in Colts Neck, they're in Asbury, I think he said there's also in Red Bank. So if you're into more of like a holistic option, check it out. You know, if you like your juices, if you like your smoothies, they also do lattes and, you know, functional lattes, functional beverages as well. Super friendly, and was actually really cool to meet him. So I'm walking around here, and, you know, a lot of the locals, they say that, you know, even the construction, they're happy with the construction, but they're noticing that a lot of the buildings that have been here for a long time, you know, they're getting torn down. And, you know, there is a cost to development. You want to spruce up the place and make it a little bit more livable, you know, give people some more options, make the property value go up. It does come at a cost. You know, the open space even would need to be replaced with a building. So you want to find that balance. You definitely can overdevelop a place, and then it just loses its natural spark. But if you can find that balance, when you can find that balance of, like, you know, a nice area with free sandals. I'm just kidding. Somebody lost their sandals. That is livable, is safe, has a community, but also, you know, you're not packed on top of one another, and you have space to breathe. I think finding a location with that kind of balance is something really special. I mean, just really cool. You got a portrait of Poseidon and maybe his sea nymph. I don't think it's Artemis. I don't know. Who's Poseidon's queen? Does Poseidon have a queen? We don't know. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. As we continue on, we got the backstage of Stone Pony Summer Stage. No Labor Day concert today. Porta National Park. They actually have a national park. They have a plaque back there. Really good pizza and a lot of fun too. Turned into a nightclub at night. All the crazy people like to go there. And we have the Stone Pony here. Not open yet. I don't think anybody's playing this morning. But it's a lot of fun. It's a great venue. Very small, very intimate. Seen a couple shows here myself, and, you know, I'd love to get out more. That's who's playing. 28th, Jeremy Zucker. The 30th, Rilo Kiley. The 31, Dogs in a Pile. I don't know if that's September or if that's August, so might need to check on that. All right, and we've kind of come virtually full circle where we're back where about we started. So we're back by the carousel. I hope I don't get hit by this car. Yeah. Thanks for not hitting me. So there is a couple of views that I wanted to show you while we close it out here. So this is the carousel or the casino. I think it actually officially goes by the casino. At one point there was a carousel in here, I believe. Some awesome wall art. All closed up though. No entry? Need a ticket to get in? Or a lockpick? Yeah, there was at one point. Carousel and a casino. Yeah. Have you been here before? Is this your first time checking it out? You know the area. Oh, you're on the walk-in tour? The professional tour?
Yeah.
You're the tour guide? Yeah. Yeah, I live. But I've been to Asbury like a bunch of times, but I never took any time to like actually like kind of hit the streets and kind of explore. There is like a ton of history.
The onion. That's the onion, right?
The onion.
By layers.
Right, yeah.
Get to know it.
But even like, you know, the architecture here is like some of the older buildings here like this. the oh my god, the convention hall,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And like even like the little attention to details, like the
I know.
you know the even like the detail of something as simple as this that is, you know, it's peppered in there. It's really, it tells a
Yeah.
story.
This is, what is this carrying past her? Copper.
Copper. Like they got the faces,
Yeah, there's a lot of terracotta
terracotta.
and deco stuff.
Yeah.
The faces.
Yeah. It must have been so cool to see what this was like when it was like in its heyday, right? Had you ever been like, or did you grow up here in Asbury yourself,
No, I
or?
grew up in Manhattan.
Oh, yeah. My family moved us to it's very small, so practically, yeah. Where I really grew up.
Yeah. Well, I did
Look,
grow up in
even a Pegasus, right? You see Pegasus on the wall, so that's probably from the carousel, right? You see the it's on this arched portion here.
Yeah.
You see that there's a horse with wings. It's a Pegasus.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong place.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I see it. Yeah. It's nice when it's lit from inside.
Yeah, that must be really cool.
Plays in here, but,
Plays. And they got some like seats set up in there, like as if.
I think there will be again.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy.
Yeah. Enjoy your walking tour. Bye. And this is the other side of it here. Kind of backlit here, but it is just a really cool looking building. Like, lit up from the top. Absolutely stunning. So I think it's gonna be a good time to wrap up here. Awesome day. I had a lot of fun exploring here, and there's so much more to do. Shopping, like there's stuff going on. There's farmers market. There's shows. You see music. Come out to the bars. Come out for food. You could rent the boat and, you know, boat up and down the river here. So a lot of fun things to do. I'm really happy I came out here. Started at about 8:30. It's about 10:30 or 11 right now. Met about 13 or 14 new people, connected with 2 people on Instagram, made 2 new friends, had some great conversations. Everyone that I talk to, for the most part, is super friendly. You know, you walk down the street and all you have to do is say hi or good morning, and, you know, people will say hi or good morning back, and, you know, you can make friends doing that and connect and have some good conversations, learn a little bit more about other people, and, you know, pick people's brains about the area. And I don't know, it's like, it's nerve-wracking at first to like put yourself out there, and it does get you out of your comfort zone, but once you get started, I've noticed it becomes easier, and the more you do it, the more practice you get with it, with talking to new people, it gets easier as well, and you can connect more deeply with more people, and that's a lot of fun for me. Even though it gets me out of my comfort zone, I have a lot of fun doing it, and I always end up feeling good after doing it for a little bit. Plus, probably got about, I didn't check my pedometer, but probably I had to have gotten about at least like 10,000 steps up to this point. But, you know, walking around like this, it gets you out of the house, gets you walking, gets you moving, really good source of exercise, and, you know, it's just beneficial all around. So I'm gonna wrap it up, gonna walk back to the car, grab a bite to eat. If you enjoyed this video, you know, and you want to support, I would mean the world to me. There's a link in my bio that will take you to what's called a 60-second health quiz. This quiz it uses artificial intelligence, and it works with a couple of products that I've had some good success with, whether it be sleep or energy or inflammation or weight loss, fat loss, muscle gain, you know, overall health. Check out that quiz. It's literally like 3 questions. It literally only takes 60 seconds, but It's backed up with artificial intelligence and all of the white paper clinical studies for the products that we work with that will put together a regimen just for you based off your unique goals, or if you know somebody that maybe some of those products could help as well. I've had a good experience working with them, and you know, we've been helping a lot of people as well, and maybe you know somebody that could benefit. So you know, just want to call your attention to that. Check it out. It would really mean the world to me if you did that. And other than that, you know, give this video a like, subscribe, follow for more, and we'll definitely catch up on the next one. So hope everybody has a great rest of their day. I just had to take one more video as I'm walking by here. The ocean just looks so freaking nice. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but man, get outside, have fun, talk to people. Just absolutely gorgeous day.